Did you know that companies lose up to $20 billion every single year because of unproductive remote work, and most business owners have absolutely no idea it's happening to them? And if you're still managing a 50, 100, or 500 person remote or hybrid team with nothing but trust, Slack check-ins, and prayer, honestly, that's a risk you can't afford in 2026. Because the right employee monitoring software doesn't just tell you who's online, it shows you exactly where your payroll dollars are going, who your top performers actually are, and where your biggest operational leaks are hiding. But with hundreds of monitoring tools out there, each one claiming to be the best thing, it's easy to get paralyzed by the options. Well, I've spent the past couple of years reviewing and testing just about every notable employee monitoring platform on the market, and I've narrowed it down to the 5 that genuinely deliver for remote agencies, BPOs, healthcare, and offshore team operators. Let's get into it. Apploye is hands down our top pick for monitoring remote and hybrid teams in 2026. If I had to sum it up in 3 words, it's powerful, clean, and great value for money. Forbes recently ranked it as one of the best tools for employee productivity monitoring, and once you look under the hood, it's easy to see why. Apploye has quietly become the go-to tool for remote teams, healthcare organizations, BPOs, law firms, and software and marketing agencies that need enterprise-grade monitoring without the enterprise headache. Compared to the legacy tools in the industry like Hubstaff and Teramind, it's super easy to use and navigate for managers and teams. You can onboard even 1,000 team members within minutes and start monitoring. Here's what you get on the paid plans. Activity monitoring with keyboard and mouse tracking, random screenshot capture, frequency you control, video monitoring, app and URL usage tracking, timesheets, attendance and leave management, project and task tracking with budget monitoring, and payroll. It handles both remote and hybrid workers from a single dashboard, no separate tool, no separate subscription. What's genuinely interesting is that if you compare these features head-to-head with the traditional players in the industry like Hubstaff, Teramind, etc., Apploye is actually very stable and, in fact, in some cases, even way better in performance and usability, making it our top choice in employee monitoring category. Another thing that genuinely sets Apploye apart, and this is the part I'm excited about, is its compliance posture. It's HIPAA and GDPR compliant, which is a big deal if you're in healthcare, financial services, law firms, or any client-facing operation where data handling is non-negotiable. Most tools at this price point don't come close to that level of compliance coverage. Teramind does, but you're paying 2 to 3 times more per seat. ActivTrak and Hubstaff don't match Apploye here on the same pricing tier. Here's the tricky part, and I'll be straight about it. Apploye doesn't have native DLP, data loss prevention, like Teramind does. If you're dealing with classified data or extremely high-stakes IP protection scenarios, you'll need to layer a dedicated security tool on top. But for the vast majority of agencies, BPOs, healthcare, and offshore teams, the monitoring suite it offers covers every meaningful use case. On pricing, Apploye has a free plan for up to 10 users, which is pretty decent if you want to do basic time tracking and monitoring. The paid plans start at $4.50 per user per month on the Elite plan, billed annually, with a Power plan at approximately $8 per user per month and an Enterprise tier which requires a custom demo to proceed. For a 50-person team, you're looking at roughly $225 to $400 per month on the paid tiers. If you stack that against Hubstaff's team plan at $10 per user per month or Teramind's UAM plan at $28 per user per month, Apploye is delivering comparable or better productivity monitoring at a fraction of the price. It's available on Mac, Windows, Linux, Android, and iOS. If I had to pick a plan, Power is the sweet spot for mid-sized teams. That's where per-minute screenshots, productive and unproductive insights, suspicious activity, and full monitoring suite unlock. In this plan, majority of the remote team owner's needs are fulfilled. Bottom line, Apploye is the clear number one for business owners running remote teams, VAs, offshore healthcare services, BPOs, or agencies who need robust activity and productivity monitoring that's easy to deploy, easy to adopt, and compliant with major data regulations without paying enterprise ransom pricing. If that's your situation, this is your tool. But of course, Apploye isn't for every buyer. If your organization has serious cybersecurity requirements, we're talking insider threat prevention, DLP, SIEM integration, the next one on this list takes a very different approach.
Coming in at number 2 is Teramind, and let me be upfront about the framing here. If Apploye felt like the right fit for your team, Teramind probably isn't your move. But if you're running an operation where data security isn't just a checkbox, it's a core business requirement, this is where things get serious. Teramind is one of the most sophisticated employee monitoring platforms in the market. It's not just monitoring productivity, it's running a full behavioral surveillance operation, and it's good at it. What I genuinely like about Teramind is the depth of its security architecture. We're talking keystroke logging, real-time screen recording, OCR on screenshots, email and document content analysis, SIEM integration, and AI-powered anomaly detection that flags behavioral deviations before they become incidents. If you have employees with access to sensitive financial data, protected health information, or proprietary source code, Teramind builds a behavioral baseline for each user and alerts you the moment something looks off. That's not something Apploye, ActivTrak, or Hubstaff can replicate at this level. Now, the standout feature is the user behavioral analytics engine paired with its data loss prevention layer. This is where Teramind earns its premium pricing. You can define complex policy rules, like alert me if any employee emails more than X documents to an external address between 9 p.m. and 6 a.m., and Teramind will catch it. For financial institutions, healthcare networks, law firms, and defense contractors, this is table stakes. Here's the elephant in the room, though. Teramind is genuinely complex to configure. The onboarding isn't quick, the interface has a very steep learning curve, and rolling it out to a 200-person team requires proper planning. It also has a mandatory 5-seat minimum, which isn't a deal breaker, but means it's not really designed for lean teams, and it's expensive. The starter plan runs $14 per user per month billed annually. The UAM plan is $28 per user per month. That's where the behavioral analytics and SIEM integration unlock. DLP plan is $32 per user per month, and that's where full data loss prevention capabilities come in. Enterprise is custom. For a 50-person team on UAM, you're spending around $1,400 per month. For the same team on Apploye Power, you're spending around $400. My honest take, Teramind is best for organizations where an internal security breach or data leak would be catastrophic. Financial services firms, government contractors, large healthcare networks. If that describes your operation, the pricing is justified. If it doesn't, you're buying a missile defense system to protect a corner shop. That said, if Teramind is too security heavy and too pricey for your use case, but you still want sophisticated workforce analytics, the next pick takes a completely different approach.
At number 3, we have ActivTrak. Think of this as Teramind's analytics-focused cousin, minus the heavy security layer, minus the complexity, and with a stronger emphasis on helping managers understand work patterns and optimize team performance. ActivTrak's credibility is solid. Business.com named it one of the best employee monitoring tools for workforce analytics, and it's trusted by over 9,500 organizations globally. That's not small. What surprises me about ActivTrak is how thoughtfully it's positioned. Where most monitoring tools are built primarily for surveillance, ActivTrak leans into the productivity story. Its workforce capacity feature analyzes historical workload data to help with headcount planning and resource allocation. The impact analysis feature lets you essentially A/B test organizational changes, roll out a new process or policy, and measure the downstream effect on productivity. The financial loss analysis translates productivity inefficiencies into actual dollar figures. That's genuinely useful for a business owner who needs to make data-backed decisions about their team. Now, something that sets ActivTrak apart is the activity alignment feature, which uses AI to map individual team activities directly to business objectives. So instead of just knowing someone spent 3 hours in email, you can connect that to whether it's actually tied to revenue-driving work. Here's the tricky part. ActivTrak doesn't have the security depth of Teramind, no insider threat scoring, no DLP, no SIEM integration, and while it has screenshot capture, keystroke logging isn't in the toolkit. If you're looking at ActivTrak as a security tool, you'll hit a ceiling fast. It's a workforce analytics platform with monitoring features, not a monitoring platform with analytics layered on top. The distinction matters. On pricing, ActivTrak has a free plan for up to 3 users. Paid plans are Essentials at $10 per user per month, Essentials Plus at $15 per user per month, and Professional at $19 per user per month, all billed annually. Note, ActivTrak only offers annual billing on its published plans. For a 50-person team on Essentials, you're at $500 per month. At Professional, that climbs to $950 per month. My plan pick is Essentials Plus at $15. That's where the deeper productivity trend analysis, coaching workflows, and integration capabilities start to open up. Professional is for teams that need the fullest analytics picture. Bottom line, if you want clarity on how your team is actually spending their time and you want tools to act on that insight, not just observe it, ActivTrak is the move. Best for agencies and mid-sized companies where productivity optimization and workload balance matter more than security surveillance. If that sounds like your setup, this is worth a serious look. But if you need more than just analytics, specifically if you need activity monitoring plus insider threat detection, but Teramind's pricing still feels out of reach, the next tool might hit a better balance.
Sliding in at number 4, we have Veriato, and this one occupies a very specific lane. If ActivTrak felt too light on security and Teramind felt too heavy on price, Veriato is an attempt to split the difference. Veriato is one of the oldest names in this category. It's been around since before employee monitoring was even a mainstream concept. And it's built a reputation in highly regulated industries that need serious oversight without going full enterprise on the budget. What I like about Veriato is the Insider Risk Management Plan, which uses Gen AI-powered predictive behavior analytics. The platform baselines each user's behavioral patterns and flags anomalies, but crucially, it also runs sentiment analysis on communications, flagging tone and language shifts that might signal a disgruntled employee or a potential data risk. For organizations that have had insider incidents before or are in industries where that's a real risk, this is a meaningful differentiator over ActivTrak and even some Teramind tiers. You have to engage with a rep before you even know what you're committing to, and there's a 5-user minimum on annual subscriptions with a 20-user minimum just to access the IRM plan. Unlike Teramind, Veriato doesn't have as robust a DLP engine, and its UI isn't what you'd call modern. The interface works, but it won't win any design awards. Teams used to cleaner tools like Apploye or ActivTrak will feel the clunkiness. Also, Veriato is largely device-focused. It works best on Windows, Mac, Chrome, and Android, so if your team is iOS-heavy, check coverage carefully before committing. UAM plan at $15 per user per month billed annually, volume discounts available for larger teams, the cost per seat goes down as headcount goes up, which makes it more attractive for teams of 100 or more. IRM plan is custom pricing. My honest take, Veriato is best for mid-sized companies, financial services, that need genuine insider threat monitoring with AI-powered risk scoring, and where Teramind's DLP pricing is more than the budget allows. Best for teams of 50 to 300, particularly where the IRM sentiment analysis adds meaningful protection value. If none of that applies to you, and you've been wondering where the most marketed name in this category lands, here's that answer.
Rounding out the list at number 5 is Hubstaff, and I want to be fair here because Hubstaff is genuinely a capable tool with a real user base. But let me give you the honest picture. Hubstaff is one of the most heavily marketed names in this space. Over 10,000 businesses worldwide use it, and it's built strong brand recognition over the years, especially for teams that need GPS tracking alongside time and activity monitoring. If you're managing field workers, delivery teams, construction crews, or mobile staff alongside desk employees, Hubstaff's GPS and geofencing features are legitimately strong. That's its real differentiator. What I genuinely like is the breadth of integrations. Hubstaff connects with over 30 tools: Asana, Jira, Trello, QuickBooks, Salesforce, FreshBooks, and the team plan opens up unlimited integrations. For operations teams that rely on multiple platforms, the connectivity is real. Now, here's the elephant in the room. Hubstaff carries the UX weight of a platform built in the early 2010s. The interface is functional, but it feels heavy. Setup for a 50 to 100 person team takes more coordination than it should in 2026. And the pricing model is one of those situations where the entry price looks appealing, but the actual cost adds up fast once you factor in plan tiers and add-ons. The Grow and Starter plans have hard limits on screenshots and app/URL records, so teams that need full monitoring coverage almost always end up on the team plan. Starter at $4.99 per user per month, Grow at $7.50 per user per month, and Team at $10 per user per month, all billed annually. Enterprise is $25 per user per month. For most remote and hybrid teams that need full monitoring, Team at $10 is the realistic starting point. For a 50-person team, that's $500 per month. Now compare that to Apploye's Power Plan at $8 per user per month, which gives you HIPAA/GDPR compliance, similar monitoring depth, cleaner UI, and a more modern platform architecture. That's a direct apples-to-apples comparison, and Hubstaff comes up short on value. If Apploye wasn't on this list, Hubstaff would easily be a top 2 pick, but it is on the list, and the gap in terms of user experience, compliance readiness, and value for money is significant. My honest take: Hubstaff is best for operations with both field and desk staff, where GPS tracking, geofencing, and mobile team management are genuinely part of the workflow. Industries like logistics, construction, retail, and facilities management. If you're managing a purely desk-based remote or hybrid team, especially in agency or BPO environments, there's a better option at a better price. All right, so there you have it. 5 employee monitoring tools that actually matter in 2026, each solving a distinct problem. Here's how they stack up. Apploye is best for agencies, BPOs, healthcare, and offshore teams of 50 to 1,000 members. Paid plans from $4.50 per user per month. Teramind is especially best for organizations with serious cybersecurity requirements, financial services, security networks, government contractors, where insider threat detection and DLP are non-negotiable. Plans from $14 to $32 per user per month. ActivTrak is best for companies that want workforce analytics and productivity optimization over surveillance. Agencies and knowledge-based teams that want to understand and improve work patterns. Plans from $10 to $19 per user per month. Veriato is best for mid-size organizations in regulated industries that need AI-driven insider risk management at a more accessible price than Teramind. UAM at $15 per user per month, IRM by custom quote. Hubstaff is best for businesses managing both field and desk teams, where GPS, geofencing, and mobile tracking are real operational needs. Plans from $4.99 to $10 per user per month for most teams. But if you're a business owner managing a remote or hybrid team in an agency, BPO, healthcare, or offshore setup, Apploye is still the clear top pick. The combination of monitoring depth, compliance coverage, ease of adoption, and pricing simply isn't matched by anything else on this list at that price point. Still hunting for the right monitoring tool for your niche? Drop your industry in the comments. I'll point you to the fit. If this helped, tap like and use the links below to explore the tools. Stay productive.